Hey, what's up guys? So I'm making another rant about Silent Hill 2 Remake because people said the last one devolved into just a bunch of ranting about Bill Gates. And I will be honest, it really did, because, I really do hate Bill Gates, and call me the next Alex Jones. So yeah, anyway, this is going to be the new rant about Silent Hill 2 where I actually stay on topic this time. So yeah, let's just get to the first portion of this rant. And the first portion is, of course, the gameplay, because the most important part in a video game is the gameplay, after all. And I'll just put it bluntly, the gameplay in Silent Hill 2 Remake looks absolutely horrible. And, one aspect that I really don't like is the fact that all the guns shoot like they're, like, water guns or something. Now, I know the gameplay in the original wasn't very good, but isn't the point of a remake to improve the gameplay of the original? And it absolutely did not do that at all, because, it's just absolutely horrible, and I'm not really surprised considering it is Bloober Team's first game with actual gameplay. What a shocker. But yeah, it looks really bad, and there are some people who say stuff like, well, the gameplay in Silent Hill should be horrible, and the remake, it changes the gameplay from the original. But if you ask me, the gameplay in the remake, if the entire point is for the gameplay to be horrible, then it absolutely succeeds, because the gameplay looks absolutely terrible. Now, I am not I'm a fan of the original Silent Hill games, but I am absolutely not a believer in, gameplay being bad as, a point of a game. Take Drakengard. That game had horrible gameplay, and actually, Yoko Taro, the creator himself, said, yeah, I actually regret making the gameplay horrible to, I suppose bring on the point that killing is bad, because, then it just resulted in an absolutely horrible game. So yeah, I don't think gameplay should be bad ever. It should not be bad on purpose, certainly. So yeah, the gameplay in the remake just looks absolutely horrible, and honestly, if Capcom did it, they could do it far better, because it did try to be a Resident Evil clone, but if it tried to be that, it absolutely failed, because it just looks miserable to play. Now, on to the next point, and that is, of course, the soundtrack. Now, actually, no, I'm not going to focus on this point at all, because Akira Yamaoka, who composed most of the Silent Hill games, is back for this one, and I'm very sure the soundtrack will be perfectly fine. Probably the only good part of the game, and I mean, it's just taking from an already good soundtrack in the original game, so yeah, I think that part will be completely fine. So yeah, let's just move on to the story. Now, of course, the story is just going to be really bad. It's absolutely going to butcher the original, and we've already seen it from the trailers. Take the scene where James is looking into the mirror at the beginning. Now, that's obviously a very notable scene. I mean, it is literally the first scene in the game. But yeah, in the original, James looked perfectly calm. It was really, dreamy. It really set up the game very well. But in the remake, he's all, sweating and, panicking like he just did something wrong. It's it completely spoils, essentially, the entire twist of the game. And I know it is a remake, but, dear lord, dude, it just absolutely missed the subtlety of the original. And there's also that scene where, obviously, James grabs the noose, and in the original, James had a blank expression, because there wasn't necessarily a feeling James had on suicide. Obviously, it depends on what you do that determines whether he kills himself or not. So the entire point was for him to not really have an expression at all, but in the remake, he looks depressed, he wants to kill himself. And it's just so stupid. It's Bloober Team really doesn't understand the story at all, and you cannot convince me they were fans of the original game, because they're getting it completely all wrong. And it's probably also because, I don't know, people just miss the point of Silent Hill 2, and, it's all about subtlety. That was the whole thing with the original 4 games, especially Silent Hill 2, so yeah, it completely missed the point. Now on to the point I really want to talk about, and that is the characters. Now, they absolutely butchered the characters in this game. Now, to give, I suppose, points to Bloober Team, at the very least, they did fix James from the reveal trailer. Now, in the reveal trailer, he looked like a 40-year-old man. Now, they actually made him look more in line with the original James in the updated trailer, which I do appreciate, so at the very least, they listened to that. But let's just look at the other characters, dude, and that specifically is Maria and Angela. Now, if you look at this picture of Angela, compared to the original and the remake, you can just see what they were doing. Because, Angela, she looks like she's packed on a few pounds. She's looking like a manual out here. And yeah, it looks absolutely horrible. It's she does not look the same as she did before. And you know what I really think she looks like? She looks like Sphere Hunter, but fatter. And now I can't get that image out of my head. How uncanny. But yeah, they really did horrible on this, and you know why she actually looks like that? And I'm very sure why, because if you look here, you can see compared to, you know, with the original and the remake, you can see the body shape differences, and guess who is consulting on this game? Well, it's a Sweet Baby clone. Now, I can't remember their name. They're not Sweet Baby, but there's some other company like Sweet Baby that also does video game consulting, and yeah, you can tell, like, I knew it, dude, and yeah, dude, like, if you really want to avoid these, like, woke games, you should absolutely not buy it at this point. Now, I already didn't want to buy the game, but, like, yeah, this basically confirms it. I knew from this trailer what they were doing, and yeah, they got some, like, woke DEI consulting company to work on this, and let's just look at the other character I was talking about, and that is Maria. Now, as you can see from Maria here, she is definitely not looking like she was in the original. Now, I will say, she looks somewhat better than Angela, but that is absolutely not a compliment, because if you look at what they did to her clothing choice, you can see that she's a little more covered up compared to the original, and you can also tell this was a woke design choice. But what's really stupid about this is the whole point of Maria's design in the original game was to be the sexy and fun version of Mary that James wanted. That was the entire point of her original design. She was designed that way for a reason, not just simply to be, you know, sexy. So it's like, they really ruined her design here, and it's like, that's just completely missing the point of Maria as a character, so I really don't like what they did. But yeah, dude, like, you can just see it with both Angela and Maria. Like, they're looking absolutely horrible, especially Angela on the face, because she looks like an absolute cave troll, dude. But yeah, I'd say that's enough on the characters. And overall, yeah, this game looks horrible, and I definitely don't want to buy it, and I would probably recommend no one else buy it either, because, you know, it already looked bad, but you also, for the cherry on top, you also have this woke consulting company that's, you know, something like Sweet Baby, and yeah, at that point, you definitely shouldn't support the game at all, because, yeah, you know, these are the people who are ruining gaming, so yeah. But anyway, that's the end of this rant, so yeah, anyway, later.